today was all about, securities and exchanges, and there's a lot of bankers, and there's a lot of financials, and it seems in one way that the space is being taken over by the financial industry, which is really a shame. And I would like to hear your perspective on that, coming from the societal benefits.
So I'll recap the question. So it's basically, we have all this promise of the blockchain to decentralize and to democratize and change the world, and yet the practice or reality of it right now seems to be that everybody's in it to make money, right? And how do we bridge that gap?
Well, and this is a conversation that we had a lot around January of this year, right? After watching the massive run-up at the end of last year, there was a huge influx of projects into the space that were putting Wi-Fi on the blockchain, and all of these things. Like, that's not a thing. What happens when we have a bunch of speculation enter the space? Well, we need a little bit of that, right? We need a little bit of mass adoption for different reasons, and there's going to be some financial incentives. One thing, as January and February rolled on and we started to see more and more projects that were untenable or in it for the wrong reasons, I started to get really concerned. All I do is attend crypto projects or crypto conferences. This is pretty much 70% of my time. So as I started watching these projects enter the space, it was concerning about how are we going to continue to enculture people with why you're here, why this movement matters. And I don't think we had to work very hard. There's really great leaders in this space, and we're still small enough at this point that we, depending on which events you go to, if they have enough pull, you're getting people like Miko Matsumura, you're getting Jeremy Gardner, who's here, you're getting people who really know how to hold that value set. And it was really quick that people started saying, we are here because this is going to free people, because this is going to disintermediate and add more liberty. This is going to add more resources for and to each other. And very quickly, a lot of those projects started to wash out of the space. So I do believe that we need some of those large financial institutions to start looking at it and to start bringing in some more liquidity. And it is up to us to continue to talk to people and say, the DLT movement matters because this is what we can do with it. These are the resources that we can provide for each other. And as we start to gain a little bit more traction, this is a little off topic for this panel, but things like the gaming industry stand to move the needle significantly. And they're somewhat unbiased, right? Like, they're not coming in necessarily for gain. They're coming in because tokenization models just make sense to their systems. And so if we can continue to just really to be advocates and say, these are projects that are helping move the needle. Look at the Pineapple Fund. Look at what's going on in Puerto Rico. Look at, just continue to talk to our neighbors and our community members and really hold that value up. Then I think that will continue to move forward as the space does.
I think that is such an important question, and thank you for asking it, because the question is around values. What values are we going to hold as a blockchain community? We're the trendsetters. We are the early adopters. We're the ones that are setting the course for the rest of the world to follow. And what values are we going to put out there? What kind of projects are we going to work on? What philosophy are we going to have? What are we going to build? What are we going to build? That is so important for us to ask and have a good, clear answer to that. So thank you for that. Let's move on. So.